Hey yo, G Dash, boy, take your hat off. Fine. This week on Hats Off with G Dash Jones. Woo. Y'all know what we doing. Woo. Whoa, hold up. I'm riding on the clouds, y'all. This is a special episode of Hats Off with G Dash Jones. Woo. Oh Lord. I don't want to give him too much. That was Gentle Jones riding on a cloud. Oh man, featuring Jack Beasley again. Gentle Jones riding on a cloud. Shouts out to Gentle Jones. You know this is Hats Off. G Dash Jones. Say what? Facts. Listen, and this is a special episode. Say word? Yes. This episode is a special Launcher episode. Shouts out to Launcher. Oh man, if y'all don't know about Launcher business resources, y'all need to learn now, like ASAP, right? I'm gonna tell you what's going on. We gonna have, okay, listen, the entrepreneur on today's episode. When I said, listen, I don't think y'all heard. When I talk about the entrepreneur, we gonna have on today's episode. Ooh, whew, yeah, yup. Dayton Jackson. We gonna talk about everything that got him into this whole entrepreneurship world, how he built it all up, right? What he was able to y'all about to learn in just a minute, right? And he went through the Launcher system, and so you're going to really see kind of the benefits and the impact of going through that Launcher program to build. Yeah, what's good, sir? How you feeling?
Hello, how you doing?
Another day in paradise, man. Listen, welcome, good people. Again, I told y'all it was Dayton Jackson. Listen, oh man, and if y'all don't know, he is the owner, CEO, operator of Akai's Ally, and I spelled it wrong. Akai's Ally, right? ALLIED. Make sure you get that right. Okay, go ahead. Okay, what he gonna do? I'm gonna tell you what he does. Matter of fact, why would I tell you what he does? He can tell you what he does. Tell people a little bit about yourself, good brother.
Yes. Um, my name is Dayton Jackson. I am the CEO and face of Aki's Ally. We provide an essential service of towing and roadside assistance um, to Dover, Delaware, and all the surrounding communities. We up and down all over Delaware, Maryland, PA, Philly. We all up and down there every day. All day, 24 hours, always outside, always at your service. That's our slogan, by the way. Um, and you hit it earlier too. You said it earlier, but yeah, we gotta address that elephant in the room. You spelled my name wrong, brother. I,
I know I owned it. That's why I owned it early. I owned it early. You know what I'm saying?
I was I was running it like so when you sent it to me, I looked at it, I seen it looked good. But I was running around doing 100 things, moving, and I'm trying to hurry up and trying to, knock everything out so I can, give you 100%, and my focus would be, here. Um, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, yes. Ready to do some great things. Now, by the way, because he's being humble, and there's a couple other things that me and him ain't even talk about, but I know this, right? Not only so, yes, as an entrepreneur, and I'm gonna tell you business. He did tell me he's a linguist, but I'm gonna tell you why it matters that he knows these words, right? Because Thursday, shouts out to the Launcher program. They're gonna have what's called a convening, right? Which is where if people come, different Launcher groups. By the way, our group in Delaware, if you're watching from anywhere else, our group in Delaware is called Launcher. These groups are established across the country where you can go and, find your local group that will help you create your business plan. That's the fact. They're going to help walk you through, and then they can give you additional business assistance. So on Thursday, everybody's coming here from across the country to kind of have a little meeting, and you know who going to speak? I know who going to speak. Look at me. That's a fact. That's a fact. And not only will you be speaking then, you also will be speaking on Tuesday next week too, right? The Build Together Alliance.
No, I think I'm just on for just Thursday.
Fair enough.
I think it's for just Thursday. I
Fair
might be
enough.
I don't know. I signed up for a lot of stuff. I don't know. My week's gonna be hectic. I'm just trying to handle things like really like one thing at a time, honestly.
So,
Um,
so let me back all the way up, right? Because I want people to understand what I want people to get from this episode is not just to know you and your business, and not just to know understand the launcher thing, but in the entrepreneur space and building your own business, things like that. With that journey, is like, what made you get into that roadside assistance and towing world? How did that even happen?
um. So honestly, so I got introduced to it by my cousin. I got an older cousin out in Philadelphia, and I just went out there. I don't know. We just started talking. We hadn't spoken for years, and we just started talking. And it was like, I just went out there one day to go see him, and that's what he was doing. He was just riding around towing, and I seen it, and I liked it, and I was intrigued by it, and that just um. But let me back up. So I guess when I was a kid, right? When I was a kid, some of my fondest memories were of my father. Excuse me. Some of the my most exciting times of were with my father, and he was like riding around in cars. So I was always like obsessed with like wheels and cars and going fast. And I grew up, honestly, I used to want to drive NASCAR. That was like my lifelong dream. I used to want to drive NASCAR. And life took me in thousand different spins in different directions. And NASCAR wasn't in the cars, but I just knew I wanted to make money driving. So I got my CDLs and I was driving, different things. I drove a cement truck, drove a trash truck, I drove a dump truck. I drove a bunch of different stuff. I
Drove
still
all the
have my
truck.
CDLs. I still have my CDLs. But entrepreneurship is what's for me. Um, and then when I got into the towing aspect, when I really, really understood the towing aspect, I mean, and all the other stuff was good. It was cool, but I really like helping people. It was something like it was really like that was my way of being able to give back to my community and being out here to be, out here helping people. Um, that's where it came from, I guess.
Okay, now, right? See, now when people think about getting their cars towed, they don't think about it being helpful. Help people understand. I'm just telling you, that's not what the like. Listen, I got some cousins that ain't listen. Look now, okay? They don't associate it. Like they got traumas. Okay, how does that connect to helping people for you?
Well, if you are broke down on the side of the road and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I think that's pretty helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, call somebody because your car won't start and you need a jump start, and it's 12 o'clock, or your wife or your children are out, somewhere, and they broke down on the side of a country road somewhere, and they don't know, they left from their right out there. I think I'm pretty helpful. Um,
All right.
yeah, I think I'm pretty helpful, and I think I'm pretty impactful on um within my community, and it shows within my reviews. It shows I have real live receipts for my help.
Right. Okay. Now, by the way, this is for y'all in the back, right? When you listen, don't think about I'm gonna tell him in the front too. He don't do repos. That's important. He don't do repos. Okay, so listen, don't even. That's what I'm saying. He only helps people. Like mainly, that's what he do. I'll say this. He mainly is helping people with being able to kind of manage and save them and their family. With that said, because you've been driving for a long time and you've been driving a bunch of different trucks, what's the difference, would you say, in the helping people of elk as far as towing roadside assistance versus if you was just doing like you could be driving, the trash trucks for real. That's helping people too, to a certain extent. Like, but what would you say is the difference in kind of being able to be hands on and kind of direct with all that?
Um, they both are absolutely being in service to your community. You absolutely are helping people and being in service to your community, being an asset. The difference is, um, with towing, I think that I'm more. I think I have a deeper and more profound connection to the people. I think I have a deeper and more profound and effect on my community. I think that those experiences are more memorable versus me picking up your trash every week. You understand what I'm saying? Because if it's something that happens all the time, it's something like you kind of take those things for granted. You understand what I'm saying? You kind of take them for granted versus if your car broke down in the middle of a snowstorm just one time, you remember that. And you remember who came to get you.
Yeah,
You remember. So,
that's a fact.
you know, 2 years, later, when you break down again, I'm going to remember who came and got me 2 years ago in that snowstorm. And I'm going to call him again. Hey, you remember me? And I get those phone calls all the time.
Right, right. Yeah, 'cause you literally done saved them. All right, so now here's this journey, right? So you're in the cars. You love this driving situation, right? That's how we start, and then you riding with your cousin. He doing the tow situation out in Philly, and now how do we get from there to you having your own truck, your own business, you running things? What was that journey like? How did that happen?
Um, so honestly, I've always been an entrepreneur. I kind of always had it in me. So going back to when I was a, going back to again when I was a kid, my mother had 6 children. Yeah,
Ooh,
my mom had 6 kids. So um, she would give us all the same amount of money. So if she gave us all, if somebody got $10, we all got $10, and they would be the first ones to run out there to, the ice cream truck and spend all their money. And I would go out there and buy like, maybe like a 50 cent, popsicle, and I would buy a whole bunch of candy and be out there selling the candy. And I'm trying to make that $10 turn into $50 and that $50 into, I was that type of kid. And I always knew how to save my money. So I would buy the things that I like, or things that, but I was, you know, I kind of I was always that way, to be honest with you. I had that focus. I don't know. Um,
wow. Okay, okay. So now you start with that focus. So then at the point in which you was ready to have your own show business and your own like business in itself, what were the steps? What was the first thing that you did? Was you like, all right, I gotta get myself a tow truck? Like, is that like, how did that happen?
yes. So towing is a very, very expensive game to get in. It's very, very expensive. Um,
Mhm.
and to be honest with you, you have a lot of gatekeepers. You got a lot of people who will try to lock you out of it, or minimize.
Wait, hold on. There's politics in towing? Wait, what?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Um, it's yes, it gets real deep, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
So what was the question again? You said
Right, yeah, because that hit me.
you
I
said
said, wait,
knock
they be trying to block
someone
you from
else.
taking people at 2 a.m. Like, no, you better not say them. Like my brain. So I guess it comes from being able to get the permits to get the trucks and things like that.
Well, no. So to be able to, like bid and get like city contracts and stuff like that, or even to bid and get parking enforcement contracts, and it's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot that goes into it. Some of these companies have been around for 50 years, 100 years. You think they just going to, let you just come in and take food off their table? It don't work like that. And Delaware is not wide open like that. So in Philadelphia, if an accident happens, anybody can go to it. If you see an accident, you can just go out there to it. In Delaware, you don't have that ability. Unless somebody calls you. So somebody, if they say no, hold, I don't want this company to take me, let me call who I want to call. I can't just stop and you know help. I can't even be helpful. They have their picks. So in Dover they have in North Dover they have McKinney's and Harris Towing. In Southport and Camden, they have Chambers. And you can't get those contracts unless you are, big enough to handle them type of contracts, unless you got enough trucks, and even then you still got to get in with whoever the chief of police is and whoever else, and it's a lot to it. It's a politics.
Oh, yeah, that's deep. That's definitely deep. It's a lot of levels to this game. So now, and I would have never thought that would tone, but now, so now, even with this, right? How were you able to kind of build your business up with all that competition just kind of in the way, like in all those lines there? Like, how did that happen?
How did I build it up?
Yeah, like how are you able to build up your business?
They can't stop me, and I'm not. And I knew you was going to try to bring that out of me, right? I'm not. Listen, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm not chasing a bunch of women, I'm not. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I will get up and answer the phone. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I will get up and answer that phone. I am more focused on building my legacy, and you will not stop me. There's nothing you can do. You cannot stop me. You can't stop a dollar. You can't stop a coin that God made for me. You can't stop it. So whatever I gotta do, listen, I will bet on myself 100 times. If I gotta take my shirt off and get in the ring, I'm gonna take my shirt off and get in the ring. And it don't matter who's on the other side. It don't matter who in front of me. It don't matter who beside me. It don't matter who behind me. I'm gonna get in that ring and I'm gonna compete. And I want that. I want to be the best. I don't want to be the biggest. It's not about being the biggest. I don't want to have 20 trucks. I don't want to have 30 drivers. I want to be the best.
Wow. That listen, by the way, again, somebody in the back, rewind that back and then go run through a wall. Cause I know you're gonna watch that. What? The best. Listen, that right there, that's what Minnesota is watching. The Timberwolves before we came right now. Go watch him say that. Woo, I'm ready to go right now. All right, so okay. Now, with that said, now I know you went through the launcher program and you built a business plan. When it comes to towing, what is it like to create a plan for that, like in that world?
And okay, so talk about that plan, right? What's crazy is I had a towing company before this one. It was actually called Aki's Overhaul. That was the first towing company that I ever had. And I did it with a partner. Long story short, a lot of things didn't go right. I fell on my face like horribly, terribly. It put me in probably the worst position and the worst mindset that I had been in, in a really, really long time. But I had the foresight to sit down, like when I knew it was over and I knew it was coming. I sat down and it took me, I want to say it took me about a week, right? Excuse me. I sat down and locked in with a pen and a pad, and I wrote an 8-page business plan. I knew that because I put so much into Aki's Overhaul before, I knew I was going to crash. I knew I was going, go through a depression. I knew I was going to be sad. I knew I was going, go through all the things. And that's the part that I didn't know. I didn't, well, I seen it coming, but that's the part that a lot of people don't talk about. This entrepreneurial thing, it'll take you through every single emotion that you had. It'll take you through emotions that you didn't know you had. Everybody wants to be their own boss and run the show. And listen, being an entrepreneur is you can make $10,000 today, right? Right now, $10,000 today, but you might not make another coin. You might not make another red cent for the next 2 months. And you like, what's going on? Like that type of stress. That's what being an entrepreneur is. So with that being said, I knew that I was going to go through a depression. I knew I was going to go through, the emotions. So I forced myself before I let any of those, those emotions hit. I forced myself to sit down and write out a business plan. So I sat down and wrote out a business plan. I went and created a whole nother LLC, which is Aki's Ally, right? I, I I closed everything up, set it to the side, and I went through it. That depression, that wave, and I rebuilt myself. It took, so I went through it. I went through it maybe like, I want to say maybe like 2-3 weeks, whatever. I went through that sadness, that depression, whatever. Then I had to get back to work. Had to put my pants back, big boy pants on, and go back to work. So I went to work, got a job, driving driving CDL trucks, saved my money up, fixed my credit. You know, I took the launcher class. So then when I took the launcher class, that I pulled out them same 8 pages, went refined them, um, put it together, pulled out my LLC that I created 2 years ago. Now I got no, it wasn't 2 years then, but it was a good 18 months that I had created my company. It was already sitting, so now I can go start looking for money and doing foresight. And like I said, just refining my plan. Now my vision, got that gave me time to like make my vision clear.
Okay, what made you? And I know you mentioned the foresight. Why didn't you how'd you avoid the PTSD or the trauma of, man, listen, I done been through the business thing. It already ain't worked for me, man. I ain't going through that again. You know how listen, that's a real
Oh,
emotion for people.
definitely. I'm not. I don't. I understood that I have to memorize the lessons. I, I got to memorize the lessons, but I also got to have short-term memory when it comes to the losses. So forget the losses, but remember the lessons. If that makes any sense. So
Listen, hold on, pause. Listen, y'all, did you hear it? Because that's one of them ones. If you didn't quite get it, write it down and reread it till it makes sense. Listen, he said, memorize the lessons, okay? But forget the law. Be Eli Manning. If y'all know who he is, different conversation. But either way, that's what you got to do. You got to if you throw the interception, forget that you threw the interception, but know where they're coming from. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay, that's how that works. Okay.
I
Okay.
so again, I knew, like I said, I knew I was going to go through that wave. I knew it was going to hit me. I knew it was only a matter of time. But now that I remembered all those lessons, I haven't fell for any of them same lessons again. I haven't gone through any of them same trials and tribulations because I already know what they look like. I remembered the lessons, but I forgot the losses. So I don't have that fear. Again, I take my shirt off and get in the ring with anybody. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have that type of fear. You can't stop me. You're not gonna stop me. I'm going to be the best. Right now, right now, right? I'm ranked as the #1 touring company in Dover, Delaware.
Wow.
Look at Aki's Ally. I'm tied, excuse me, I'm tied for #1 spot in Dover, Delaware right now.
Wow.
You're not gonna stop me. You're not gonna stop. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna stop me.
What are the things that go into being the best in that field?
Consistency. Got to be consistent. You got to be the same person on Monday through Friday through Sunday. Got to be the same person. When you show up to work and you put your pants on, you got to show up to work and put your pants on. You got to show up and get dirty. You got to show up and with the same. You check your attitude. Check your attitude. You coming with a new that same mindset. Every single day. Have a
So
high level of integrity. You got to have a high level of integrity.
so now I'm curious because realistically, as you said, you got to be consistent, and as an entrepreneur, you're on even on the off days, right? Like it is what it is. So how do you overcome those moments when you're like, ugh, but gotta go? Like, how do you get up when you're not up?
Put my pants on. I don't have an answer for that. Honestly, like I really don't. I get tired. I get frustrated. I get worn out. Just like everybody else. I put my pants on and I go to work. I can't. I my legacy. That's my legacy. What I'm gonna leave for my children. What I'm gonna leave for their children. The legacy, the last name. My my father, my grandfather. They're gonna remember their name off of the work that I put in. They're the two greatest men on this planet, and they're gonna remember their name from the work that I put in. We talking about legacy. You understand what I'm saying? That's more important than, oh, I'm tired. I don't want to do it. Nah, I'm go to work.
Work.
I'm gonna go to work.
Yes, I'm
as,
here for it.
as you're gonna remember my father's name. His name, his last name is Jackson. You're gonna remember my grandfather's name. His last name is Jackson, from the work that I put in. You understand what I'm saying? My kids, I want my kids to walk around with a sense of pride. Like, that's my dad. That's my dad. You see them trucks driving by with the name on it? That's my dad. My dad did that. You understand? That's. I understand. I gotta wake up as a man and I gotta compete. I gotta put my pants on and I gotta compete. I don't want to be second. I don't want to be last. Life only favors those who are bold.
Yo, he dropping them today. Yo, y'all listen to this. Yo, he dropping them today.
Yeah,
Woo.
you hyped me up too.
That's it. You said it. Life only favors those that are bold. That's
That's
hard.
Napoleon. That came from Napoleon.
That's right.
That's
Woo.
Napoleon. Napoleon said life only favors those who are bold. So when you crack open them history books, right? All them people, all them names that we remember in history, we remember them because they were bold. They stood out. They understood we're gonna go out here, we're gonna compete, we're gonna make sure that they remember us, right? And the ones that didn't get on the field, the ones who ain't lined up, the ones who said, I'm tired, I don't want to do it, we don't know them. We don't remember them, right? Who are they? Life don't tell their story. Books don't tell their story. You gonna know my story, though.
That's a fact. Listen. I know. Listen, I'm trying to tell you. Everybody know Napoleon. Don't nobody know just random Nene. You know, shouts out to all my Nenes out there, by the way. But the name don't stick. That's all I'm saying. They don't know Napoleon. That's how that got handled. Now, okay, right. That's in your chest, by the way. I'm trying to tell you, this is one of those episodes where if you gotta handle your business, you're gonna just watch this episode. People need to take this one with you. Now, okay. What would you say is like? So, what was the impact? Again, I gotta take it back to Launcher. Shouts out to them for sponsoring this episode and for kind of putting this together. Of this episode of Hats Off with G Dash Jones, y'all know, and so the world knows, I still will be back here on Thursday, with Sweet Fran Sean. I have a guest. I'll talk to Fran Sean on Thursday. I'll tell you about that a little later. But now, you came in, you wrote, you had already been in this business, right? You had already started with the business plan, and you already had your LLC. Why'd you take the launcher class? Like that sounds like you already had it. What made you still go through another thing?
Because practice makes perfect. Refinement. You can always. It's always room to grow. It's always room for refinement. It's always room for. Yes, I already did have a business plan, but my business plan was 8 pages. It was 8 pages. Launcher by far is probably some of the best money that I've ever spent in my life. And not just what I learned while I was there, but the connections that they opened me up to, the people that they opened me up to. I would not and I could not be in the very same predicament that I am today without Launcher. Without Launcher. Launcher, without Stand By Me, but without the neighbor, the name just got away from me. The neighborhood.
Yep. The Western Neighborhood House.
West End Neighborhood House. I'm sorry. Just without them being able to bridge the gap. I call them all the time. I text them all the time. Whenever I need some type of help with this, whenever I need some type of help with that, Launcher's right there every single time. They ain't never told me no. I mean, it's a good thing to have somebody who is directly invested in your success.
All right, hold on. Just because, again, you know, I tell them in the back. The front might understand. The back might not know. Here's the thing, right? In this launcher program, what you wind up receiving is you will, once you become an alumni, you also get a business services assistant that will help you, right? And they'll kind of help you with your business. Now, again, for those of you who are unaware, entrepreneurship is lonely. Okay, I don't care how much you in love. I don't care how many friends you got. Entrepreneurship is lonely. And one of these things that you get from this launcher world is help. Okay, like you get somebody who can just be there that you can kind of, hey, reach out to, by the way, hey, what you think about this? Help bounce ideas off of, because that's one of the hardest things is figuring it out, right? So it comes with you start refining your plan, and then you kind of get to help with figuring it out. With that said, what are some of the things that got added to your plan, or that, you know, you ain't got to go into detail, but how did you wind up changing your plan after going through the class or within the class?
Well, honestly, it wasn't stuff that I added to the plan. It was what I took away from the plan. When I started out, you know, it was like a shotgun blast. It was I'm all over the place. It was a big shotgun blast. It was, I need $500,000. I want to have 5 trucks. I need this. I need that. I need a big, you know, yard where I could put 100 cars and a gate and security. I need, you know, I need, you know, and I needed $1.5 million when I was done. Crazy. So what Launcher allowed me to do was it allowed me to, you know, space to go from being a shotgun to now I'm in that sniper scope. Now I'm in a sniper scope and I'm able to, you know, zero in on what do I really need. Forget about forget about the end goal, right? Forget about the end goal. What do I need to start? What do I need to take my shirt off and get in this ring? How much training do I actually need to get in this ring? How much do I need to know so I can get in the ring, right? And then that came down to, all right, just go ahead, go get a truck. Go ahead, you know, instead of you spending $150,000 on a truck, go get you, you know, finance your truck, and then go ahead and go fix your credit and get a $30,000 loan to outfit the truck how you need it outfitted, and you know, go from there. Set your, you know, you already got your LLC. Just go add this, you know, properly structure it, protect yourself a little bit, you know, get your insurance, and that was it.
Wow. Pretty much it allowed you to reset your expectations and kind of flow through the right way, as opposed to just kind of just being all over the place a little bit.
Yeah, so it allowed me to hone it in and you know, make everything tighter, right? So instead of me having a 30, 40, you know, step plan, it was 5, right? I didn't, it made efficient. Does that make sense? Efficiency. So now I'm not wasting doing a whole bunch of stutter step. Now I'm not doing those stutter step. Let me 1, 2, fundamentals. 1, 2, fundamentals. That's it. Wow. So yeah, just broke it down. That's all.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. And you know, listen, shouts out to to the graduating classes, because we just had a cohort finish, or a cohort is just wrapping up or finishing. Graduation is going to be on the 21st for that next launcher class. By the way, launcher in this area is starting again soon, so go ahead and launcherde.org. Go ahead, people, I need y'all, go ahead, sign up, get yourselves together, okay? Come on, you know me, I'm an instructor. I'm just somebody gonna wind up helping you learn some things. Why not, you know, get you right? But go ahead, sign up for that. Again, we got the convening coming up, and you know, so a lot of events. They also, here's one of the things that I'm gonna say, and I don't know if I ain't supposed to say it, but I'm gonna say it. When it comes to entrepreneurship and business in general, sometimes joining different programs, getting additional information, you may think you know, right? You thought that you was there. I thought I knew. And then you'll join the group, and what you'll see is, oh wait, there's funding over here. Oh yeah, they ain't tell you. You know, nobody tells you that there's funding over there. You got to be a part of groups to know to know some of the money is. Hey, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Sometimes being a part of certain things, like, oh wait, this is what you got to really do to submit to be a part of these things. Yeah, yeah. Oh, nobody told you that. You got to be a part of the group to get some of that game. So sometimes when you're a part of, again, whether it's a launcher program or whatever you choose to do, there's typically a group for it. I'm always an advocate for you learning the realm that you're in, and then you can get the industry secrets when you start learning that, because literally all the industry has another lane or another place where the bags are, right? Where the network is. You'd be like, oh wait, there's a network. Yes, there's a network for what you do, right? When you on the outside looking in, it's a lot harder to get in than when you kind of get with the group, and then they like, oh, let's go, we're here. You know, this is the episode of Hats Off with G-Jones. Listen, and we just in here, I'm sponsored by Launcher, and we in here kind of just reviewing, because I got my man from McKee's Ally. He just broke it down. By the way, I'm going to go back to, if y'all missed any of this, when it dropped, if you need a little motivation in your life, just a little. This brother, you think I'm hype, but I get it. I am. I'm up there. If you listen to what he said, you're gonna be picking up like he tow trucks. You're gonna lift up trucks like just. Listen, shouts out to my man Dayton Jackson having to lift up trucks. Okay, now
Thank you.
okay.
But
Uh,
I agree with you. So joining Launcher, you are getting a whole network. You're getting a whole network of people behind you, but you only gonna get out of it whatever you put into it. If you know, like a bunch of other people that just want to float through it and just get through it, then that's all you're gonna get. But if you actually utilize the resources for what they really are, if you are calling them, texting them, and you on them, hey, how can I do this? Hey, can you connect me to this? Hey, do you know anybody that does this? You're gonna get everything that you ask for, every single thing that you ask for, every single thing that you want out of it. I have, I'm a testament to that. They help me with my credit. They help me find funding. They help me with my business plan. They help me with my counseling. And these are people that I call on a regular. So
that's a fact.
yeah.
That's a fact. And because I do want to highlight that one of the things that you mentioned. Now, for you wanting to be the best, and what most people need to know, even in this entrepreneurship world, you got to enjoy what you do. You got to want to do what you do, right? You got to want it. Like, you got to enjoy that side. You got to have a why, and you got to want it. You need both. Okay? Like, you got to enjoy the thing, and you got to have a why. Those things will matter the most. So and I say this, and I can't stress this enough. Never let somebody tell you that you have to be an entrepreneur, because you don't. If that's not what where your heart resides, don't put your heart there, because it's going to be it's not always the easiest road. Now, if you do want to explore that, then do, right. But there is a line where it's like it's okay, right. I don't want anybody to feel like, if you don't have to do it, but if you do have that in you, go explore it. If you got something in you that you want to own, and this allows you to have a team to help you. Now, I asked pretty much all my guests a variation of this question. So I'm gonna ask you this question. This is the launcher episode of Hats Off with G-Jones, Launcher Spotlight on my man Dayton Jackson from McKee's Ally. Here's my question. If you had to give advice to a entrepreneur like yourself, right? A new toesman. I don't know if that's a word, but it feels like a word, so I'm gonna say it. A young toesman in the game. Just trying to assist on the roadside. You know what I'm saying? Like driving lights on things. But and this year, it's 2024, and they're trying to do it. What advice would you give somebody kind of new in that field that's trying to figure it out?
New in this field, trying to figure it out. Patience. Patience. It's you're not gonna know everything overnight. You're not gonna learn everything overnight. You're not gonna be perfect overnight. I'm not perfect. I still mess up. I still make mistakes. But you have to have a strong desire to want to get better. You got to have a strong desire, to have a real high level of integrity. You don't start a job and not finish it. Just matter of fact, earlier today, and it happened to me twice today too, and it's rare. I get to a job and the car is probably 2 inches off of the ground. The car is so low off of the ground that I can't even put a jack up underneath of there to jack the car up. Can't even put a jack underneath of there. That's how low the car is. But if if I said I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. And it happened to me twice today. Well, I'll tell you that the first car kicked my butt. First car kicked my butt. I had to, think all the way outside of the box. How do I lift this car up without damaging it? And you have to have that. Sometimes you
Pause. I
gotta.
need to know how you did it. I'm on the edge of my seat right now. How did you do it?
I use some rocks. I use some wood. I use my jack, and I kept just moving the jack, inching the jack in further and further and further till I finally got it up underneath there in a safe place, and I got it. But I had to jack up all four wheels, one at a time in order for me to do it. Real slow, real methodical, real careful. I didn't scratch, didn't dent, didn't, anything. And I charged them. Of course, they paid me way more than what I, first, initially quoted them on. But this time, this perfection, this high level of integrity, you gonna pay for it. You gonna pay for it. But I got that job done, and they were grateful. They were absolutely grateful.
Shoot. All right. So again, shouts out to patience, right? Because if you a young Toesman, you gotta be able to think outside the box. You gotta be patient. By the way, a lot of these gyms apply to no matter what field you're in. I'm not gonna lie. Like most of the stuff that we talked about today pretty much applies to everything that you may do. So in case you're not sure, or you think that what he was saying was just for people who talk, then you're wrong. Okay, it probably applies to you too. So you might want to listen to what he said. Okay, I'm just saying. I had to tell him. Okay, they might not know.
You are an awesome hype man. You're a very very good hype man. You're a good host. You're a good host and a hype man.
I'm just out here trying to make sure that people know that when it's time to toe Keys Ally, yeah, baby. Okay. Shouts out to Launcher when it's time to get y'all business plan together. By the way, also, I want people to know he did say it's the best money he spent with the Launcher program. I do want y'all to know it's not a high price though. So if y'all go to look at it and you be like, oh, man, it's not. It's not. It's really not. Not for what you'll get out of it. Not in general in this economy for that type of service. So again, look in the Launcher. Next time I do this, I'm gonna try to give out the name for the more national version in case people are in other places they can reach out because they have these in different cities across the country. So shouts out to that. All right.
I didn't even know that until recently when they asked me to speak in front of them. I didn't know. But apparently I'm killing this thing called entrepreneurship. I don't know. Apparently I'm doing really really well. I'm knocking down some doors. They some people hearing my name. I don't know.
Okay, Dayton. This is where you're confusing me here, right? Now they're like, well, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. 5 minutes ago, I'm the best. I'm gonna be the best. Okay, I didn't know. Ain't nobody stop no dollar out my. You listen. You should know. You should have known. That speech told me. I knew. Okay. I knew. I knew. I don't know how you ain't know. You was telling him. By the way, if you're not sure, you check the rankings. You told me you tied for number one. You might as well be number one in my book. I don't know the other person.
But see, I say I don't know because I'm just putting the blocks together. One block, one block, one block, one brick, one brick, one brick, one brick, one brick. I'm just, eventually I'm building a house. But right now, all I see is bricks. It's, hey, you got, you're on the second level. This is other people telling me I'm on the second level. This is other people telling me that, I done reached some type of, level, some type of status, some type of, I hear the voices, but I pay them no mind. I'm building a house. I'm seeing this vision. Again, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't sleep. I'm out here.
Yeah.
Always outside.
I'm always going to advocate for some sort of self-care. You ain't got to drink or smoke, but do rest, sir. Like, please take a nap. No, nothing? Okay.
Outside, and I'm always at this service.
Always outside. Okay, well, listen, I can't make him take a nap. Okay, I tried. I wasn't sure. I tried to encourage this man to nap. He said he's too busy serving the people. Okay, matter of fact, like, that's what he told me. I said, hey, get some rest. He said, I got people to serve, so I'm gonna. Okay. Now,
I'm trying to find a card real quick to show you. That's my slogan, though. Always outside, always at your service, though. That's my slogan. That's why I keep saying that, though.
Always outside, always out your service. A Keys ally. Bars. We here. Okay. So now, one last thing I like to do. I do this on every episode, and I mentioned to you, but I tell people, because I'm a spoken word artist, by the way, feel free to book me. I host things. I'm a published author, G-Jones. Spell out the dash. With that said, I tell people, if you give me a word, I give you a poem. Now, sir, while you think of a word, let me give these people some quick updates. Now, by the way, again, of course, this is an episode of Hats Off with G-Jones, your boy. This episode is sponsored by the Launcher Business Resources. Go look up to them. They actually have registration open now for the next program to join, to be able to help you with it, not only build your business plan, but build your business. So again, launcherde.org, look into that. Also, Thursday, you'll see me again. I'll be back with my regular scheduled episode of Hats Off with G-Jones. That I will have Sweet Fran Sean. We will be talking about no other than her soul opera show that will be happening on Saturday, that I'm also a part of. I'm there, but it's her show. So shouts out to Sweet Fran Sean. Aziz and Naila is going to be a part of that show. LaShawn Janelle is going to be a part of that show. Shouts out to Raz Musa. It's a whole dope thing. So that's going to be on Saturday, but Sweet Fran Sean will be talking to me on Thursday. Also, shouts out to the City Fest concert series. You'll see me hosting there on tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be over at them UAE stables with a mic in my hand, introducing something fire. So that's just what I got for the week. So that's where we're at right now. So keep your eyes wide, as well as Launcher DE also has a directory. So feel free to support small businesses, because all of those in the directory are small businesses. So that's the thing too. So if you go to launcherde.org, you'll see that as well. Now, sir, you got a word for me? Word or phrase?
Abundance.
Abundance. Oh, one of my favorites. Okay. I'm thinking. I want it all. What does that really mean to you? Like, most of the time, people don't realize that the things that they are actually asking for are not things that they are able to receive. This is the truth. Therefore, you haven't prepared yourself for what you call wealth, so that you mad at everybody else. This is what's confusing me, because you're not really looking at you. See, when you say you want it all, let's redefine what that's meant to make it true. How about if I say I want all that's meant for me? I don't need the things that are meant for you. And the things that are meant for me, I promise you, I will do everything in my power to gain consistently. Matter of fact, I have no problem handing you anything that I can do to help you. Okay? I promise you, anything that was dealt to me, this card got a stacked deck, but guess who it's stacked for? Me, I'm just telling the truth. See, I know that in order for me to get everything that I need, the expectations that I have to exceed. I know the powers that be that I have to please in order for me to feel like I'm living life without the regrets living and weighing down upon me. See, all I want you to get is to be at your happiest. It does come with some integrity. It does come with a proper mentality, but it also comes with you being prepared to walk with abundance. Boom. Yeah, something like, a little word salad. You feel me?
Nah, you try to run back our whole interview. That's what I caught. You was running back our
You ain't had to say, I don't know if they caught it though.
I caught it.
Oh, listen, this has been a dope episode. I've enjoyed having you here. Thank you, sir. Anything you want to say to people before we get up out of here?
Please contact Aki's Ally for all your towing and roadside assistance needs. If during a parking enforcement circumstance I ended up towing your grandmama car, I apologize. That wasn't me. I'm sorry.
I'm glad we made it to the end before we brought that up. I was avoiding all of that. You just had to do it, huh?
Sorry, it wasn't me. I apologize. It's not a perfect model, but we working on it. And again, we always outside. We always at your service. We here to please you.
Absolutely. Again, shouts out to Aki's Ally. Listen, when you think of Aki, think of Aki's Ally. You heard me? Listen. I don't know if I'm supposed to say. I know what that Aki means, but either that's what I'm going with. Okay, we here now. When you think of Aki, think of Aki Ally. That's it. Okay. Oh man, always outside. Who is always outside?
And at your service.
And at your service. There it is. Listen, this has been an episode of Hats Off with G-Jones. Shouts out to the Launcher program for sponsoring this episode. Shouts out to you all for tuning into this episode. Thank you, Aki, for being.
Thank you for having.
Thank you. Listen.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for Launcher for thinking so highly of me. I appreciate y'all for all the help that y'all provided me. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I apologize for cutting you off, brother, but I had to get that out before we end this live, man.
No, I loved everything that you said. I'm just going to reiterate it. So thank all y'all. Listen, he's snapping here. Listen again, and I have to say it one more time. Rewind this back if you're feeling down one day, like you don't know how you're going to do it. Listen, you got a couple moments here that's just going to run through a wall. All right, again, this has been Hats Off with G-Jones. As I always like to say, love yourself first, and everything else will fall into place. All right, y'all have a good evening. Woo.